The URC semi-finals are complete. It is time for the team of the week, the top 15 performing players in their positions. Now, there might be some people that agree, there might be some people that disagree, but please let me know in the comments down below if you agree, if you disagree. Give me your team of the week, your player of the week as well. It was a really good week of rugby, a very close week of rugby as well, very competitive, some incredibly close games. One of the best weeks of URC rugby we've had probably ever, some really close games. And to be honest, the two finalists that end up making up the finals probably do deserve it. They've had some really good years, and those guys had some incredible players playing this weekend. So before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I appreciate all the support. We're nearly at 3,000 subscribers. The goal is 10,000 before the end of the year, so we're going to try push for it. So if you do enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button and hang around. Let's get right into it. Starting off with my first and only Stormers player in the URC team of the week for this week, Ntuthoku Mchunu. I mean, this guy's been absolutely scintillating the entire year. He's been really lighting it up for the Stormers. He was good at scrum time. He was good around the park. He's very mobile. I fully expect to see a lot more of Ntuthoku Mchunu this year in the green and gold as well. He was definitely one of the best Stormers players on the field, and there were other guys that were good as well, but you have to remember this team of the week is the best players in their position this week, and I thought Ntuthoku Mchunu was once again really good for the Stormers. Moving on to number 2, this is a bit of a no-brainer. Johan Grobelaar from the Bulls. Johan Grobelaar was absolutely incredible this week. I mean, he was all over the field. His lineouts were good. His scrummaging was absolutely excellent. And he was really good over the ball. He slowed down the Glasgow ball all day for them. He was really a menace for Glasgow at the breakdown. He was good around the field. He was physical. And once again, he's showing that he does deserve to be the number 2 option for the Springboks this year throughout their season. He's had a phenomenal year for the Bulls. He looks even more confident every single time he plays. And he's looking like a Springbok caliber forward, where probably in the past he was looking quite decent every time he played for the Springboks. He wasn't looking that great, but now he's looking absolutely good as well. He's looking like he's playing the best rugby of his career. Moving on to number 3 is another Bulls player, someone that probably hasn't been on this list much in many people's list throughout the season, but he had a really good game on Saturday. Francois Klopper. I mean, this guy is not spoken about enough. He's a very underrated player for the Bulls. He always just pitches up and he always shows up and plays some really good rugby. He's good around the park. He's physical. He's actually quite mobile for a prop as well. But the thing that really stands out for him is scrummaging and his set piece work. He is a really underrated scrummager, and that Bulls scrum was really putting on a lot of pressure on the Glasgow scrum. Yes, the Glasgow scrum did survive the first kind of half, but that kind of pressure build up is what really kind of catapulted the damn wall collapse in the second half, and Francois Klopper was definitely a part of that. He even got himself a try as well. So Francois Klopper, a very good game from him. He's going to be key also, as well as Johan Grobelaar, for the final for the Bulls if they want to even have a chance of getting a victory in Croke Park against Leinster. That's going to be an absolutely awesome game, but there's going to be a lot more previews for that coming out as well. Moving on to number 4, we have another Bulls player, and this just shows that the Bulls forward pack this week was absolutely dominant. They was really hard working all around the field, but it's not Ruan Nortje, it's Ruan Vermaak. Ruan Vermaak was absolutely awesome this week, a massive human being, and he really does kind of back that up on the field. He plays physically, he uses his size all the time. Definitely a guy I think could potentially get a few Springbok caps, maybe not against the best sides, but he might be a bit of a underrated selection for the World Cup next year if there are injuries at the lock position as well. He's still not an old guy either. I'm not too sure how old he is, but maybe after the 2027 World Cup we might see a lot more of Ruan Vermaak as well. He's a big guy. He uses his body well. I mean, he's very physical, and he's one of those guys I think is very underrated in the Bulls team, and especially in that very good Bulls pack. Moving on to number 5 is my first Leinster player for this week, for James Ryan. I mean, this guy was getting under Irvan Roos's skin every single time he could. He's one of those guys. He's not a dirty player by any means, but he does the dark arts very well, and I do enjoy watching those players play. You always want a guy like that in your team. So for James Ryan to be that guy for Leinster, I'm pretty sure a lot of the Leinster fans love him as a player, but I know other fans from other clubs and other countries don't like him for that exact same reason. But I personally like it, and I think he's a very underrated player. Moving on to number 6, I've gone for Elrich Louw now. Obviously, the South African numbers, he plays number 7, but I'm doing this based on the entire rest of the World Rugby. So Elrich Louw is a number 6 based on the World Rugby kind of standard for the position, but in South Africa, he is a number 7. But I've gone for Elrich Louw at number 6. I thought he had a really good game. Once again, he's very busy. He's a good ball carrier. Very underrated how mobile he is on the field as well. He's athletic. He's quick. He uses his athletic ability a lot as well. and he's been really impressive this season. Now, I don't think he's been as dominant as other seasons when it comes to his physicality, but he's been really smart this year. He's been much better with his skill set as well, and I really enjoy watching him play. He was very busy. He has a high work rate, and I think based on all the other guys in his position, he probably was the best guy in his position this weekend. Moving on to number 7, it was a bit of a no-brainer for me this. I've gone for Rory Dodge. He was the one guy from Glasgow in that forward pack that really stood out to me. He was taking the fight to the Bulls. He looked like he did not want to lose a game. He didn't give an inch every single time he could. He was putting in some massive hits. And the one thing I've realized with Rory Dodge, he packs a punch. He might be a smaller or shorter guy, but he smashes people every single time he tackles them. I feel like if he tackles you, you feel it and you feel the pain afterwards. And he runs through people as well. He was definitely the one standout player from the Glasgow forward pack. Obviously, there were some good guys in the back line, but I think Rory Dodge, even in that period where Glasgow was kind of fading away, not finding a way back, unable to get themselves back in the game, Rory Dodge was the one guy still kind of finding those little wins and winning those little battles throughout the game. So Rory Dodge at number 7. Moving on to number 8, it's the captain for Leinster, Caelan Doris. A phenomenal performance from him. He was running through guys like Salman Murat, Evan Roos, Andre Smith. He was running through all the big boys from the Stormers, really showing off his physical prowess. I mean, he was absolutely incredible this week. Definitely one of the top performers for Leinster and one of the top performers this week. He's not my player of the week though, but he probably does end up being my forward of the week, possibly. It's between him and Johan Grobelaar for my forward of the week, but I will decide that after I've selected the full 15 here. So Caelan Doris with a very phenomenal performance. I mean, if this guy can play like this for the international season, it's going to be even more fun to watch. He's building a really good combination with Jamison Gibson-Park once again this year. The reason why I say he's building a combination is because every single time a player does get injured and they have that time off, you kind of have to rebuild that combination. It is much easier to get it back because you understand each other. It comes back like natural. It's like a natural thing. It's like learning to walk if you've broken your leg or something like that. So you can kind of see that natural combination is coming back, but they're looking really good as a combination. And Caelan Doris once again showing he is one of the best number 8s in World Rugby. Moving on to the back line, I've gone for Jamison Gibson-Park at number 9. This guy was absolutely phenomenal this weekend. I mean, that individual brilliance. Not sure if it was supposed to be a yellow card for Salman Murat, but also maybe he knew exactly what he was doing. So irrespective of that, the try was still scored. Leinster still got the lead, and that was honestly off the back of some individual brilliance by Jamison Gibson-Park, beating the defender, having that kind of acceleration and speed to get over the line. This guy's absolutely incredible. He makes life so much easier for all the players around him. He's one of the best scrum halves in the world, and I'll say it once again, on his day, sometimes he is the best scrum half in the world, which is a massive statement, but it is absolutely true. This guy is world class. So Jamison Gibson-Park, my number 9. Number 10, this is where it got very difficult, because if you were to think of the number 10s this weekend, not one number 10 really played well. Andre Pollard had a very pathetic performance this weekend. The other guys as well, Dan Lancaster also, not a good performance from him. I'm thinking of Yuri Mattia, he was okay. The one that comes out that probably was the best because he made the least amount of mistakes and did some good things is Sam Prendergast. So Sam Prendergast is my number 10 for my team of the week, and I fully expect him to start in the final with Harry Byrne there as backup, of course. But I think Sam Prendergast the last few weeks has been really impressive, kind of playing to his strengths, playing to his ability, and playing with a lot more confidence, and slowly but surely getting some of the fans back on his side. I mean, I always root for a guy like him that's got so much hate before, so I want to see him succeed, and I think he will, and I think he's going to have a really successful rugby career as well. So Sam Prendergast at number 10. Moving on to number 11, I'm going for the wings first before I choose the centres. Now I'm playing this guy out of position because he did play number 14 for the Bulls this week, but he also moved to the number 11 position at times. But anyways, Kurtley Arendse at number 11. Kurtley Arendse was absolutely incredible this week. Some of his defensive reads, his defensive decision making, his defensive kind of the things he did, the tackles he made, the plays he does in those clutch moments, in those moments under pressure is what really separates him from the rest. He's one of the best players in the world in my opinion. He makes the game look easy, but he actually is just such a smart, high IQ player. And I mean, Kurtley Arendse, I feel like South African fans need to actually enjoy him while he's here, enjoy him while he's still playing, because once he's retired, we're going to be missing a guy like him, because you're going to really realize just how good he's been. So Kurtley Arendse, definitely my number 11 here. And I've got a question for some of the rugby fans here. In your all-time Springbok team right now, who would you have in your all-time Springbok team theoretically between Mapimpi and Kurtley Arendse? Yes, there are other guys as well like Brian Abana and Cheslin Colby, but who's higher on your all-time Springbok wing list between Kurtley Arendse and Makhoseli Mapimpi? It's just a question, but it definitely is a difficult question to answer. But moving on to number 14, I've gone for Kyle Steyn, the South African Scottish player, one of the best players in the world currently this year, having his best season by far of his entire career. 2 very well worked tries from Glasgow, and Kyle Steyn always puts himself in the right positions on the field. He has the right timing, he does things the right way. Kyle Steyn, one of the best players in the world currently, and he's just getting better every single week. He's playing better every single week. He was the right guy to lead this team going forward. It was a very unfortunate loss for a guy like him, who's honestly been having a phenomenal season. But I fully expect for Kyle Steyn to have a really good international season as well in the second half of the year. It's going to be very exciting to watch him. And he used to be the third or fourth choice wing for Scotland. Now he is firmly one of the first guys on the team sheet every single time the team is selected. I guarantee that. So Kyle Steyn at number 14, definitely one of the guys that could be challenging for Player of the Week here, but stay tuned for that one. Moving on to the centers. Now, this is where I think some people might disagree, because the center was a very difficult one for me to choose. But at number 12, I've gone for Harold Forster. He just played a very good game. He was busy, he was all around the field. He didn't make that many mistakes. Now, Jamie Osborne from Leinster did not play the best. I thought Sione Tuipulotu didn't play the best either. I thought other guys as well. Dan du Plessis was okay without being great. So for me, Harold Forster stood out as the best number 12 this weekend. So he gets my nod as the number 12. Now, number 13, this is where it gets very interesting. I was going to go for Rico Ioane because I thought he played okay, but I'm choosing a guy that actually came off the bench, and he probably only played about 15 minutes of rugby this weekend, but every single thing he did this weekend was important. I'm thinking of a massive exit kick under pressure when you don't normally think of him as a kicker. It went past the 50 as well. A massive tackle, a massive turnover at the end of the game at the death to really seal the win for the Bulls. I'm going with Stedman Gans. Now, this is probably the one pick that was absolutely not on anybody's bingo card. They did not see this coming at all. But Stedman Gans is my number 13. Very crucial touches in the game, very crucial moments, and he absolutely delivered. I mean, he was the best player from the bench this weekend, and he did some incredible things for the Bulls. And he just proved once again why it's so important for these very high quality blitzbok players to come back into the club scene and play more club rugby, because you can just see that blitzbok DNA there of being good at almost everything on the rugby field. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you put him in the scrum, he'd probably be good there as well. So Stedman Gans is my number 13. A phenomenal impact from the bench from him. But moving on to number 15, to end off the list, I've gone for Hugo Keenan. Number 15 as well was a position where nobody was really excellent. They were all good. They were all good this weekend, but nobody was really excellent. But I thought Hugo Keenan was better than the rest. Good under the high ball, good at applying pressure, and just doing the basics really well. And Hugo Keenan's never really going to have a bad game, is he? I mean, he just plays the game in the right way, where he's either going to have an amazing game or a very good game. And I thought he had a good game as well. So Hugo Keenan at number 15. Now it is time for my forward of the week. I'm going for Caelan Doris as my forward of the week. He was a really good player this week, and it was between him and Johan Grobelaar, but I thought Caelan Doris was absolutely incredible this week. My backline player of the week goes to Jamison Gibson Park. Now, at the number 9 position, Emrys Papid also had a great game, but I thought Jamison Gibson Park was just that extra level this week. He was one of those weekends, almost like that Twickenham weekend for Ireland. He was absolutely incredible. And Jamison Gibson Park also gets my player of the week for the URC semi-finals, showing once again why he is one of the best scrum halves in the world. And if he carries on this way this year, he will end the year as the current on-form best scrum half in the world. That is honestly one of my predictions as well. So a really good performance from all of these players. Let me know your players for your team of the week. Let me know if you agree with some of these picks. Let me know if you disagree with some of these picks. I enjoy all the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.